The galaxy was silent that night. Stars shimmered in distant clusters, their light crossing vast expanses of void to reach the observation deck of the research station orbiting Etheris 9, a planet whose storms were said to whisper secrets of forgotten civilizations. Captain Elias Drake adjusted the controls of his ship, a sleek craft meant for interstellar exploration, but tonight, his attention was elsewhere. He had been tracking strange energy readings for weeks, resonances that did not match any known phenomenon. "Captain," his co-pilot Leora's voice came through the intercom, soft but edged with curiosity. "The readings are intensifying. They're coming from the northern hemisphere of Etheris 9. Elias nodded, tension coiling in his chest. "Set a course. Let's see what's out there." The descent through Etheris IX's turbulent atmosphere was unlike anything Elias had experienced. The sky above swirled with electric storms, violet and silver arcs illuminating the planet's jagged mountains. As they approached the source of the energy readings, a colossal structure rose from the ground, a tower of translucent metal that shimmered as if alive. Its curves defied Euclidean geometry, bending light in ways that made it impossible to determine its true size. Elias felt a pulse of exhilaration and fear. Whatever built that, it's not human. The first encounter. Inside the tower, everything seemed alive. Walls pulsed faintly with bioluminescent veins, and the floor hummed beneath their feet. As they moved deeper, the air itself seemed to carry intelligence, a gentle vibration that resonated with the human mind. Then she appeared. A figure stepped out from a corridor bathed in shifting colors. Her form was slender, almost ethereal, and her skin shimmered like molten silver. Eyes the color of distant galaxies regarded them with an unsettling calm. She was beautiful, alien in the truest sense, and every instinct in Elias screamed both awe and warning. "I am Celera," she said, her voice a melody that reverberated through the mind rather than the ears. "I have been waiting for you." Elias blinked. "Me? Why?" Celera's eyes softened, though the glow of her irises deepened. "Out of everything I could choose, I chose a human." The words were simple, but the weight behind them crushed him with understanding. She had the power to choose anything in the galaxy, beings with intellect that dwarfed humans, entities that had existed for millennia, but she had chosen him. The test of trust. Days turned into weeks as Celera guided Elias through the tower. It was a place of wonders, rooms that shifted in shape, gardens where plants sang harmonies when touched, and libraries containing knowledge of worlds long gone. Yet, as magnificent as it was, Celera's world was not without danger. The energy of the tower was sentient, protective, and skeptical of outsiders. At first, it resisted Elias's presence. Doors wouldn't open, corridors would vanish, and in the quietest moments, he could feel the structure watching him. Celera explained, her hand brushing his, sending sparks of warmth through him. "The tower tests those who enter. It must see their intent." Elias faced trials that challenged not just his strength, but his morality. Holographic illusions forced him to confront his fears, his failures, and his capacity for sacrifice. One simulation trapped him in a recreation of Earth's past, a world consumed by greed and war, and required him to make choices that could doom billions. Each time, Celera was there, guiding but never intervening. Elias learned to trust not only her, but himself. He realized that the act of choosing her in return was more than attraction. It was a commitment to understanding a universe far beyond human comprehension, a connection beyond words. It was on the 7th cycle of Etheris IX's storming season that Elias finally understood. They sat together in the observatory chamber, a glass dome where the storms of the planet painted the sky with violent beauty. Celera traced a finger along the air, drawing constellations that only she could see. "You see," she whispered, "all things are connected. Stars, planets, life, even time. You humans, you feel things I cannot because you are brief, fragile, finite. Yet that is what draws me to you." Elias swallowed hard. "I don't know if I deserve any of this." Her gaze held him, not with judgment, but with certainty. "I chose you because you understand choice. Not power, not knowledge, not immortality, choice. Even when the path is uncertain." He reached for her, and the moment their hands touched, energy coursed through the chamber. It was not just the tower reacting, it was Solara's essence intertwining with his. He felt her memories, her dreams, her long loneliness across centuries, and in return, she felt the warmth, fragility, and boundless hope of humanity. The shadows emerge, but the universe never allowed such harmony without challenge. From the darkness of the outer corridors, entities of shifting void, remnants of a civilization erased by time, emerged. They recognized Celera as a threat to their dominion over forgotten energy currents and sought to claim the tower for themselves. Elias's training and ingenuity were tested beyond limits. He orchestrated defenses, manipulating the tower's own intelligence to create illusions, traps, and protective shields. Celera, despite her power, could not fight them directly without risking the stability of the tower itself. One night, during the fiercest storm, the void entities breached the lower chambers. Elias stood at the entrance, rifle in hand, while Celera used her essence to strengthen the tower's core. "You cannot fight them alone," she warned, but he shook his head. "They don't scare me," he said. "Not when I have you." The battle was brutal, a dance of shadows and light. Elias improvised, using the tower's corridors to isolate the entities, turning their own forms against them. By the dawn of Etheris IX's new cycle, the last of the void beings dissolved into harmless starlight, leaving Elias and Celera standing amidst the quiet hum of the tower. The choice of eternity. Exhausted but triumphant, Elias turned to Celera. "Why me? Why risk everything for a human?" She smiled, a gesture that made the air shimmer. "Because, Elias, in all of creation, I have found no one else who could walk the path I've walked and still hold hope without fear. Your choice, your courage, it matters. It is rare among beings who think they are immortal." Elias took her hand again, feeling the warmth radiate through him. "Then I choose you. Not just here, not just now. I choose you forever." Solara's eyes glimmered with unspoken emotion. "Then we are bound, human and alien, flesh and star energy, in ways the galaxy will not comprehend." The tower responded. Entire sections realigned themselves, forming a chamber that glowed like the heart of a nebula. Within it, Celera offered Elias a gift, the ability to share her longevity, to live with her among the stars, not as a visitor, but as a partner. Elias hesitated. Immortality was a heavy gift, one that could mean witnessing the loss of all he had ever known. Yet, he looked at Celera, at the being who had chosen him when the universe offered her everything, and he made his final choice. "I accept," he said. And in that moment, the tower pulsed with brilliance. Time seemed to bend, and for the first time, a human walked beside an alien as equals, their fates entwined across centuries. The journey beyond years passed, though Elias scarcely noticed. Together, they explored galaxies, witnessing supernovae, civilizations rising and falling, and secrets of the cosmos that had eluded even the most ancient beings. Elias learned not only the power of Solara's knowledge, but the resilience of human heart and spirit. Yet, even as centuries unfolded, the core truth remained. Celera had chosen him. Among all beings, she had seen something in a human worth loving, worth risking eternity for. And Elias understood, with every fiber of his being, that some choices, made from courage, hope, and love, were more powerful than all the stars in the universe. One quiet night, aboard a ship gliding through a nebula that shimmered like liquid opal, Elias asked her, "Do you ever regret choosing me?" Celera laughed softly, a sound like starlight breaking the void. "Out of everything I could choose, no human, no alien, no god, I would choose you again. Always you." And as the stars stretched into infinity, Elias smiled, knowing that some love truly was written in the constellations.